All right, good day, everybody, and welcome to Headline Hits with LWN. It is March the 8th, 2022. It's Tuesday. A lot in the news to talk about, so we'll just dive right in here. First headline hit I want to talk about is you can't make this stuff up. It's very concerning to me that on the September 11th accomplice leaves Gitmo Bay and sent home to Saudi Arabia. President Joe Biden's Department of Defense, the DoD, released Mohammed Mali Mohammed Allah Kwakla, whatever his name is, back into the arms of the Saudi Arabian after 20 years in prison for his involvement in the September 11th terrorist attack. So it goes on to say that the Justice Department, the United States, appreciates the willingness of the Saudi Arabia and the other partners supporting the ongoing U.S. efforts toward the deliberate and thought through processes focused on responsibility, reducing reducing the detainee population in Gitmo. So they feel that now, after 20 years, he is no longer a national security threat. End quote. That's what they said. So he's headed home. He's going to head back. I don't know if he's going to be in custody in Saudi Arabia or if they're going to just, once he crosses the border, turn him loose again, and then he can run around and, I guess, make plans for other things. So just very concerning for me. All right, the next headline hit, found this very interesting. I think probably 99.9% of the people that watch and listen to LWN probably feel this way. But they did a poll, and less than 25% strongly believe that Joe Biden is mentally fit and healthy, stable. Less than 25% of voters strongly believe Joe Biden is mentally fit, healthy, and stable. On Tuesday, the Morning Consult poll revealed. Only 24% say they strongly agree that Biden is mentally fit to serve as president. 34% strongly believe Biden is not mentally fit to serve as president, and a 10-point spread. Just 18% strongly agree Biden is in good health as commander-in-chief. 31% strongly disagree with that statement of Biden is in good health, and 13-point difference. Moreover, only 23% of voters strongly believe that President of the United States is stable. 34% strongly do not believe Biden is stable, an 11-point difference. So remember this, mark his words, because he said it, and now it's coming to fruition. The polling comes as Donald Trump's 2020 prediction. Let me say that again. The polling comes as Donald Trump's 2020 prediction that gas prices would reach $7 per gallon under Biden came true this week. On Monday, gas prices in California were above $7 a gallon. All right, so there you go. He said it, came true. What else is in the forecast for us that Trump and other people have been putting out? Well, let's talk more about let's talk about Pete Buttigieg here. Pete Buttigieg promotes electric cars, public transportation as solution to high gas prices. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg promoted electric cars on Monday as a solution to Americans struggling for high gas prices. Clean transportation can bring significant cost savings to the American people as well, Buttigieg said, touting that President Joe Biden's $5 billion plan to bolster Americans' electric charging network. Now, you have to realize that even the electric cars have to be charged. And even when the wind doesn't blow and the sun doesn't shine, all of that green energy is not going to charge those cars. So how are they going to charge them? They're going to have to charge them with fossil fuels and natural resources. Okay, why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing this up because these guys are insane. We have been talking about this probably since I come on air almost a year ago. I know I've had a couple of guests come on the show, and we've talked about, listen, they are going to, I think it was John H. actually. When John H. was coming on the show, he said they are going to push the Green New Deal, they're going to cause inflation at such a high rate that trying to buy a gallon of gas is not going to make sense anymore. It would be better for you to force yourself to go to green energy and get an electric car. Now, we talked about this. Look at the gas prices. Look at what's going on, and we're going to talk more about it here in just a second. So let's hit the next headline. This is off topic, but we're going to talk about the Texas courts that blocked Abbott's child abuse investigation into parents of transgender children. Why is this important? Well, the Texas judge blocked the state's child abuse investigation into parents of transgender children, pursuit of the directive issued by Governor Abbott. This is important because this is a state law. Okay, Abbott's policy directs Texas Department of Family and Protective Services to investigate parents of children who receive hormone therapy, gender transitioning, along with the medical professionals that provide such health care to children. Abbott implemented this directive last week after Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton issued a legal opinion that said transgender affirming healthcare is considered child abuse under Texas state law. So this is under Texas state law. It's the Texas Family Code. Is clear. Causing or permitting substantial harm to a child or a child's growth and development is child abuse. And now even a judge is going around it. So the fight is on in Texas, and we wish them the best of luck, and hopefully they'll prevail with God's help. So the next headline, this one is concerning to Americans. They did another poll. It's concerning to me as well. Americans view nuclear weapons, terrorism, and China as top U.S. threats. Now, we're going to get back to the gas prices here in just a minute, but I wanted to touch on this one too. Americans view various types of nuclear weapons, terrorism, and China as critical threats to the United States, according to a Gallup poll released on Monday. According to the survey, 1,008 adults between February 1st and 17th were polled, and 82% of Americans believe that cyber terrorism is a critical threat. 82%. 71% say the same about international terrorism, and 68% concerning domestic terrorism. The margin of sampling error is plus minus 4% points at a 95% confidence level. So they believe 95% of the people that they polled were telling the truth. 3 out of 4 Americans also believe Iran's and North Koreans development of nuclear weapons is a serious threat to the United States. And it goes on further to talk about percentages, about China, Russia, and, the gang. So Americans are definitely on high alert right now, and I think they should be. So let's go back to the gas prices. So we're going to talk about this, and then we're going to talk about the crisis of food. All right, oil prices jump. On reports, U.S. will ban Russian oil and natural gas imports. So the Biden administration is trying to take a very firm approach to Russia invading the Ukraine. By now, they're talking the administration is poised to ban U.S. imports of Russian energy. Now, do they really think that this is going to really affect Russia? They believe so, but I don't think so. The ban will cover Russian oil, liquefied natural gas, and coal, according to the Bloomberg News report, citing 2 anonymous sources. NBC News also reported that 2 sources familiar with the matter said that the ban is expected to come Tuesday, which is today. Brent crude and global benchmark jumped to $129.58. West Texas moved to $124.95. So the price of Russian oil has been traded at a steep discount to Brent because many market participants were effectively boycotting Russia following the attack on the Ukraine. So here we go. Let's talk about some more of this stuff. It just keeps coming. Marco Rubio slams Biden administration secret oil meeting with Venezuelan President Mandoro. Senator Marco Rubio, a Republican from Florida, on Monday slammed the Biden administration for its secret oil meeting with the Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro as a huge PR boost for the socialist regime. So they're going in there and asking for Venezuela to produce more oil and to send it to us when it's estimated that in 2020 they were only able to produce 300,000 barrels a day, and that was it. I think we're buying somewhere between 600 and 700,000 barrels of oil from Russia right now. Why? I don't know. Ask the Biden administration, because we shouldn't have to buy anything from any country. We should be oil independent right now, and it's frustrating. So let's talk about what GOP Senator Marshall has to say about this. Biden's war on U.S. Oil means we're funding evil axis of the Russia, China, and Iran threesome. On Monday's broadcast, Fox News Radio's Brian Kilmeade show, Senator Roger Marshall, a Republican from Kansas, said that because of the Biden administration, all of government war on the U.S. oil industry in the United States has to ask Iran and Venezuela to boost their energy production, and the U.S. is funding the evil axis of nations of Russia, China, and Iran, and North Korea. We are funding it with blood money, is what he's saying. It goes further to talk about more of Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, all in one big group here. And the Biden administration is now going to those countries asking for more oil. Asking for more oil. Yeah. I can't believe it either. All right. So let's talk about this headline. Europe's Russian gas addiction under pressure as Kremlin threatens to cut supply. Europe's nations face of majority energy crisis after Moscow said imposing sanctions on Russian oil would see them cutting off Russians' gas to Europe, basically. So what does that mean? Well, Europe is still in the middle of winter. Spring is around the corner, but today Europe consumes around 500 billion with a B cubic meters of gas per year, and that is 40%. That's 40% of that comes from Russia. Russia's holding all the cards right now, in my opinion, and Europe is in some trouble because they're depending on that gas. So they're bringing NATO back into this whole thing. Germany is now stepping up and getting involved, and they're not going to allow the Nord Stream 2 to come across Germany. We talked about that a few weeks ago. They're putting sanctions on. I don't know. It's not looking good for Europe right now. So let's hit the last two headlines here. Let's talk about the Republicans. They reluctant to spend $1.5 trillion on the omnibus package. Okay, think about this for a minute, folks. Just pause for a minute and think of all the trillions of dollars that we have. Well, not we, but the people that we voted into the office, the senators and the congressmen. Think of all this money they've been spending for the last, 14 months. Bailout package after bailout package, 1.9 trillion, 68 billion, more and more money. Now they're wanting another $1.5 trillion to keep the government from shutting down. So, House and Senate appropriations lawmakers continue to negotiate the parameters of a $1.5 trillion omnibus package, which would mark the end of a multi month long battle to continually extend government via a continuing resolution. Now, listen to this. I'm bringing this to your attention because I want you guys to listen to some of these names that are part of all of this because they're right there in your home state and they call themselves Republicans. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, a Democrat from New York, has continually beat Senator Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, the turtle, Republican from Kentucky, during the last many CR fights. Most recently, Senate Republicans had the opportunity to defund President Joe Biden's remaining vaccine mandates. The Republicans had the opportunity to defund it. All these mandates, mask mandates, vacation mandates, but no, who stopped that from happening? Here you go. Wake up, Utah. Wake up, Oklahoma. Wake up, South Carolina. Wake up, North Carolina, because Mitt Romney, Jim Inhofe, Lindsey Graham, Richard Burr, they failed to show up to vote. Imagine that. Imagine that. They just failed to show up to vote. You can't make this stuff up. They're part of the problem. You want to know how to make a difference? Get rid of those people. Vote them out. All right. Here is a 5-step plan that some of the Republican conferences have written a letter to the Biden administration demanding him take action on our energy crisis. Now, listen to this. Step 1, end Biden's federal freeze on all new oil and gas projects. Fast track pending LNG export permits, which LNG is natural gas. Expedite approval of all pipeline and energy development. Stop regulating assault on American energy development and financing, and stop importing Russian oil. Those are the 5 things that some of the Republicans are coming together and demanding from this current administration. Is it too late? I don't know. Let's talk about another crisis that we're about ready to face. Believe it, don't believe me. I'm preparing myself. I had a conversation with my parents yesterday. We're planning on investing some of our money into a better, bigger greenhouse. We're going to start collecting seeds. We're going to actually make our garden bigger this year. We're going to come together as a family and contribute and work together to ensure that we can feed our family. I'm also going to my friend to see if I can purchase a couple of steers from him this year so we have some meat. I've already got all my tags for hunting this spring and fall for turkey, deer, and elk. I've got tags for fishing. Why am I talking about this stuff? I bought silver. I'm getting ready to stock up on some fuel because fuel prices are getting outrageous. Why am I talking about this? I'm talking about this because I am going to prep for the worst, pray and hope for the best, because global food crisis is on the horizon. Ukraine war will have catastrophic effect on the global food supply, and this is coming from the U.S. The world is heading into a global food crisis thanks to the war in Ukraine, according to the head of one of the majority ag organizations here in America. Russia's ongoing invasion of Ukraine is going to have a catastrophic effect on the world's supply of food, the head of one of the world's leading fertilizer companies says. Now, I've heard other channels talking about this, and so I'm going to dive into this a little bit and explain to you why this can affect the entire planet's food supply. Now, listen to these percentages. Why am I prepping for myself and my family? It is because I'm not going to be reliant on Walmart or anyone else to feed my family. I'll do it myself. Both Russia and Ukraine account for a significant portion of global grain supply, with both nations also having significant roles within the supply of fertilizer as well as raw materials. However, with the trade grinding to a halt as a result of the latest stage of the ongoing conflict, the head of one major fertilizer company is sounding off the alarm bell. Now, you can believe you're watching a movie or not watching a movie. You can believe the white hats are going to come in and save the world and everything's going to be fine. You can sit there on the couch and watch your YouTube and be all happy about what you're being sold and what you're being told. I'm telling you right now, what I'm seeing in the forecast, I'm not looking at it as doom and gloom. I'm looking at it as a warning that we need to be prepared for any situation. And that's what I'm doing. If you take it as fear porn, so be it. I'm taking it as an alarm bell that I need to look at things a little bit different and prep a little bit more. However, half of the world's population, listen to this, half the world's population gets food as a result of these fertilizers. And if that's removed from the field for some crops, the yield will drop by 50%. It's a pretty big number. It's a pretty big number. For me, it's not whether, okay, this is quote, for me, it's not whether we are moving into a global food crisis, it's how large the crisis will be, end quote. All right. So, like I said, you guys take that for what it's worth. For me, I'm going to make sure that I can do everything I can to be as prepared as I possibly can be. And this is all driving the global reset. This is all pushing us into the Green New Deal. Just look at everything, folks. Look at the direction they're pushing us all. I kind of feel like they're trying to corral us into a chute, and they're driving us right into where they want us to go. How do you boil a frog? You turn the temperature up slowly, and I feel like that burner is starting to burn really hot right now. So pay attention to that stuff. Thanks for joining us for Headline Hits today. We'll be back this evening, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, and 6 Mountain Time right here for Liberty Warrior Nation. Love y'all. Have a great day.